I was looking at estrogen pollution within the Roanoke River, and I was using zebrafish to both detect estrogen pollution and also understand its impacts. And what I found was that there might actually be detections of androgen pollution and even anti-estrogen pollution within the Roanoke River. And I found that estrogen pollution actually didn't impact the head size of zebrafish.
So I tested the effects of natural antimicrobials on the growth of E. coli. I did that through a basic microbiology procedure, and the variables I tested were garlic, ginger, honey, and vinegar. And at the end of my project, I ended up finding that vinegar inhibited and killed the bacteria the most, meaning it can be best used in real-world applications like water treatment and food preservation.
My project is testing if all natural or herbal heartburn remedies are a sufficient substitute for over-the-counter antacids. In my project, I used each of the different heartburn remedies and tested to see which one would increase the pH of 45% vinegar the most. The results showed that the all-natural heartburn remedy was a sufficient substitute, and that the herbal remedy, which was ginger, was not a good substitute treatment, but a further human study could show if it is a sufficient preventative.
I was testing the inhibitory effects of UVC light on the growth of Botrytis cinerea. It was a plant pathogen, so I was essentially seeing if it could be an alternative to fungicides. And I found that the UVC exposure, along with the following dark period, slowed the growth of Botrytis cinerea by 87% compared to the control.
The purpose of my project was to try to find a new renewable resource to produce energy. I did that by using a thermocouple thermometer and a multimeter, and I tested different environments to see which one produced the most, and super hot climates and super cold climates produced the most energy.
So my project was on advancing the risk prediction of coronary artery disease using machine learning. I created a web application that uses meta-ensemble machine learning and personalized risk stratification to help patients diagnose the risk of the disease and then also help them reduce their risk of the disease.
measured the effect of humidity and temperature on the effect of musical instrument timbre.
So essentially what that is how do weather conditions affect musical instruments. We found that in warmer conditions, most instruments will go sharp, except for percussive instruments which will go flat. Humidity does not play a large role in the timbre.
Our project worked to develop a medical sponge that promotes blood coagulation while decreasing the risk of bacterial infection.
These sponges were treated with a hydrogel and antimicrobial coating, and it was determined that the antimicrobial coating was most effective in wound management.
In our project, we measured how the number of trusses affect the structural integrity of a worn truss bridge. We did this by designing and 3D printing varying groups of truss bridges with different amounts of trusses on each side, and then measuring how much weight they could support.
And it was concluded that the more amount the trusses had on each bridge, the greater the structural integrity was.
So my project is rooting for positive thinking by examining how magnets affect plant growth. And this is a third year continuation for me, and my past 2 years I found no results, but this year I found some results. But now I'm opportunity ready, and I'm ready to decide this and continue this in college.
So we did the differing levels of blue light on the growth of Bacillus subtilis.
And we hypothesized that 0 minutes under the blue light would be the biggest and longest, but it ended up being 40 minutes.
All right, what did you end up, what was your final discovery?
40-minute interval did the best.
In our project, we compared the water health and purity of the Roanoke, James, and New rivers.
We tested 6 variables of water health and purity for several sample sites along each of the 3 rivers. For water purity, the New River was the purest and the Roanoke River was the least pure. For water health, the Roanoke River was the healthiest and the New River was the least healthy.
I hypothesized that if I could train a module to sort and categorize different colors, then I could code it to recognize those colors.
And what did you discover?
I discovered that it can categorize and recognize different colors, and my project had an 80% success rate.
So our project is about the effects of water and vinegar on different types of wood.
We used water to see what would happen if it was soaked in the rain for a long amount of time in the vinegar to see what would happen if the rain was more acidic.
And what did you discover?
We discovered that mahogany and paddock did the best, while zebrawood and pine did the worst.
My project is what is the effect of different amperage supplied to electromagnets on the average speed of a levitating rotor and RPM. My hypothesis for this experiment said that if 3 amps were supplied to electromagnets, then the top would spin at the highest speed on average in RPM. Based on the results collected from the apparatus in this experiment, a custom 3D printed brushless motor, my hypothesis was proven correct as 3 amps spun at the highest average speed in RPM.
I tested the effects of red, white, and blue wavelengths on wheatgrass germination. My hypothesis that red would perform the best, followed by white, then blue. The results indicated that my hypothesis was correct, with all red seeds germinating, followed by 25 white seeds and 19 blue seeds.